Aloha and welcome back. I hope you all enjoyed your break. And for those of you who got to partake in the meditation, uh, if you're like me, I needed someone here to wake me up because it was so relaxing and so good. But we really appreciate everyone going and visiting all of our exhibitors and supporters and sponsors as well during that break. And they'll still be there throughout the day. So please continue to support them and check in on everybody that has been such an integral part of making today possible. We're going to move on now to a very special portion of today's events. It is now time for our Student Voice Awards. Now, I want to share a little bit about PBS Hawaii's HIKI no project, which is Hawaii's new wave of storytellers program. This is where they teach elementary, middle, and high school students how to create PBS quality news features that reach a statewide audience on PBS Hawaii and a worldwide audience on PBS Hawaii's website, pbshawaii.org. Now, in the process, students acquire the life skills needed to succeed in college and in their career. And you can catch this segment on Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. And then they have an encore on Saturdays at noon and Sundays at 3 p.m. This is a wonderful program where we have some amazing students who put together some videos and submitted it to our event planning committee, who tirelessly went through many submissions and chose to select these following videos and students for the Student Voice Awards. Now, originally, we were going to have a fellow student, Charla Tevez, on here to introduce the awardees. But unfortunately, Charla is not feeling well. She just had her second COVID shot yesterday and could not make it in here because she's having a recovery day. But just know, Charla, if you're watching us, we are sending you all of our love and our positive healing energy. And in fact, those of you who are watching, maybe if you can send her some emoji donuts. Charla, this is for you. Enjoy these emoji donuts from all of our attendees here. There you go. Hopefully that makes you feel a little better, Charla. But Charla was kind enough to send to me what she was going to share about these awardees. So I'll be reading her script or what her words were for this portion, and I'll be taking her place. So while I may not be as able to fill her shoes, her large shoes, I'll do my best here. But ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and move on to introducing our awardees. And I'm extremely proud of these students who shared their stories on how they've been doing with their mental health amid this pandemic. So I'd like to introduce our first video, which is by Kai Tsugawa. He's a fifth grader from Waiakea Elementary School. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Kai.
I'm Kai Tsugawa, a fifth grader at Waiakea Elementary School on the island of Hawaii. I'm recording this at my home on October 7, 2020. Due to COVID-19, there have been many changes. Our kupuna are affected because they need someone to take care of them. As my grandparents get older, they have a harder time taking care of themselves, especially when you toss in a COVID-19 pandemic. This change affects many of our kupuna. Is it a good change or a bad change? The hardest part of my life is to not know if my grandparents are doing okay. How can I take care of all my grandparents if I have a hard time seeing them or visiting them? It makes me worry not to know if my grandparents are doing okay. It's hard to take care of someone when you can't really see them because that's not taking care of them at all. I don't want my grandparents to get infected, so we try to avoid going to the supermarket and going back to their house. One day, I hope I can visit them so that I know that they are safe. I hope in the future a vaccine comes so this pandemic could end and I don't have to worry about my grandparents being in danger.
Okay. Bye.
Wow, that was absolutely moving. Thank you so much, Kai, for that. And I'm glad that we do have this vaccine out now. And hopefully, Kai and many others can now see their loved ones, if not soon. And our love and our hearts go to you and your family and to your grandparents, Kai. And I know that they would be so proud of you, of that amazing video that you put together. Thank you for sharing that with us. Next, I'd like to introduce Navy Domingo. Navy is a Farrington High School senior, and here is Navy Domingo.
This is Navy Domingo, a senior at Wallace Riding Franklin High School on Oahu. I'm recording this at my home on November 10, 2020. My mental health has been declining during this pandemic. I really miss being able to physically hang out with my friends and family. I feel unmotivated and uninspired to do what I used to be so passionate about. Actually, my friends and I were going to film a music video for a song she wrote. We planned to film outside and on the beach surrounded by people. But when COVID hit and we couldn't leave our homes, those plans went out the window. We can't film virtually because the song is all about relationships and finding yourself. So for now, our plans are on hold. I see creativity as a form of happiness. But even filming this right now, it's been a struggle to find the right words and visuals that usually comes naturally to me. Right now, I'm just hanging on as best as I can until I can finally reunite with my friends and family.
Wow, that was very raw and authentic. So thank you so much, Navy, for sharing that story. I also appreciate her ending her video on resources for people struggling with their mental health. Thank you so much, Navy. A really great inspiration to us all. Next, I'd like to introduce Ethan Morse, another Farrington High School senior. Here's Ethan.
Aloha, I'm Ethan Morse, a senior at Farrington High School, and I recorded the following reflection on November 1st, 2020. My name is Ethan, and I'm a senior in high school. And honestly, at first it didn't seem too bad. But eventually, quarantine got to me. I soon started to experience emotional turmoil between spiked depression, anxiety, and lack of inspiration. I started to lose motivation for work, whether if it was for personal stuff or for school. Due to quarantine, I lost the ability to make wonderful memories with my friends and make the most out of my senior year. I just really miss being in their presence. They pushed me to become a better person and strive to reach my goals. They're one of my biggest motivators. But COVID has brought unexpected feelings of isolation. No one was prepared for it. No one thought it would last that long or that we would start missing seeing our friends and actually hanging out with them. Before this pandemic, we would always hang out and goof around, talk about our future plans, and just give each other moral support when we needed it. I wish I had the chance to experience my senior year with those who not only were my friends, but in time became family. Those who were with me from the start and made my life bright. Honestly, I never truly realized the importance of those little moments of joy I had until it was gone.
Thank you so much, Ethan. You know, that was a great reminder to recognize and appreciate those little moments of joy that have such a big impact on our mental health. Next I'd like to introduce Lelehua High School junior Chloe Pacheco.
Hi, this is Chloe Pacheco, a junior at Lelehua High School on the island of Oahu. I'm recording this at my home on January 28, 2021. At first, I was super excited to have fun with my friends when spring break was extended, like a lot of students. But COVID happened, and it affected my life and my family's too. My 102-year-old grandfather wasn't directly affected, but because his immune system isn't that strong, he doesn't go out as much as he used to. My sister is a medical assistant, and she puts herself at risk every single day to help the doctor treat patients. But really, it was my mother who was really affected the most. She's a single parent and was temporarily laid off for 9 whole months due to the closure of hotels. Seeing all the struggles that my family was going through made me realize that maybe I should try to relieve their stress and worries. So lately, I've been sanitizing high-touch surfaces. I helped my mom learn the basics of using a computer to help apply for unemployment insurance. And I even helped connect to her Zoom meetings. Helping my own family has encouraged me to want to help other people too. So I've been trying to give back to my community by volunteering at food banks at my church. I really enjoy it because people are just so grateful and humble even after they've been waiting in long lines stuck in their car. This pandemic has really opened my eyes, and it gave me a sense of duty. I know it's been hard on a lot of families, but helping us come together as a community brings us hope that life will go back to normal.
That was such an inspirational video, and I applaud all of the work Chloe has done for her family and her community. She took this negative pandemic and made something positive out of it. And, as we continue to just see all of these amazing videos, it just is so inspiring to know that, what the youth have been going through and yet have been able to do this and to inspire others and to have this kind of outlook. Just absolutely inspiring to me. And I speak for all of us. I believe that the future of our world is in great hands, knowing that we have students like this in the what is that for baseball? They're in the batter's box. They're ready to take over for us. So I'm very excited about what's to come. Last but not least, I'd like to introduce Casey Amaral, an 8th grader at Maui Waena Intermediate School. Here's Casey.
Hi, this is Casey Amaral, and I'm an 8th grader at Maui Waena Intermediate School on the island of Maui. I'm filming this from my home in Kahului on February 2nd, 2021. At the beginning of the school year, my parents decided that it would be best for me to do online schooling. But what I didn't know was that I was also going to become a teacher, a security guard, a principal, and a cafeteria worker overnight. Here's what I mean. I have an 11-year-old brother in the 5th grade, Lance, and a 9-year-old sister in the 4th grade, Kira, which means if I'm doing all online school, so are they. The 3 of us are crammed in a 15-foot room all day for the entire school year. I'm not sure what goes on in their heads, but I swear they never stop making noise. Ever. And my sister, she has some kind of problem with my bun, because for some reason, she likes to try to whack it off my head. Seriously! Another thing they do, they are always fighting. All I have to do is walk out of the room for 10 seconds, and then they fight over pencils, erasers, water bottles, everything.
It's mine! It's mine!
Something else I've been doing is making lunch. Every day I have to warm up their lunches and make sure they eat in time to get to their next meeting. Because believe it or not, getting them to eat while the TV's on isn't easy. Finally, I've been relearning 4th grade math. My sister doesn't like math as much as my brother and I do, so sometimes I have to help her with her homework. This would be fine if they didn't keep changing math. Every time I try to help her, it's always the same.
But that's not how we do it in class.
So I have to go through the workbook that they used to learn the lesson, figure out how they did it, and then reteach it to her. It's a process, but it works. Despite these challenges, there have also been some upsides. For example, I think my mom skills are kicking in. It's also been teaching me patience. I swear, the amount of times they push me to my limit is absolutely nuts. But even though they drive me insane, life would be boring and lonely without these little monkeys.
Go, Casey, go!
So I guess I have to say I still love them, right?
Hey!
Oh my gosh, Casey, I one, feel your pain, but two, I am so entertained and inspired by it as well. Casey, if you ever start up a YouTube channel with just featuring you and your siblings, I would totally subscribe 1,000 times. That was so great. And congratulations to each and every one of our students who received an award here. Totally deserving. I am just blown away by the amazing work that you all did, and the not only the quality of your videos, but the stories that you're willing to share, and just opening up your hearts to us all. Thank you so much. Congratulations. And you know, I think I speak for everyone here as we say that what you've done today for us all is going to make a big impact for the rest of the community. I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce the CEO of PBS Hawaii, who is putting on the HIKI no program. And he's not alone. He's joined by some very near and dear friends to him. Some of you may know them, you know, Cookie Monster, Big Bird, Arthur, and of course, Elmo. Here is the CEO of PBS Hawaii, Mr. Ron Mizutani.
Thank you very much, Nolan, and thank you, Mental Health America of Hawaii, for having us and partnering with us. We are so grateful, and we're so very proud of our HIKI no students. And you know, this kind of organically came together when we asked our students and our teachers of HIKI no to share their reflections. And one by one, things started to unfold, and it became very clear that this was becoming a vehicle for and a platform for them to share their inner being, their struggles, their concerns, their fears. And it takes a tremendous amount of courage to do that. And we're so very proud of what they accomplished. And for them to be honored today, very deserving. This is not about just honoring them, though. This is about applauding them and their courage for sharing their stories. Their stories will help people heal. Their stories will make other students understand they're not alone. And that's something that, again, we never thought would come about from HIKI no and sharing reflections. All of a sudden, this became life-changing and in many ways healing for our students. I want to say mahalo nui to Kai out there in Waikea Elementary School. Thank you very much. I understand where you're coming from when it comes to taking care of our kupuna. And to his teacher, Kathy Sawake, thank you. You are all heroes. To Navy Domingo, that was as raw as they come. And we're very grateful that you opened your heart. And to Farrington High School and the teacher that looked over Navy, and Ethan, to Charlene Ego, thank you for shepherding them and holding their hand, but also maintaining them to continue to be inspired. To Ethan, thank you as well. You and your Farrington High School students reminded us a lot about friendship and about sharing, but also how important keeping that open channel of communication is in this process of healing. To Chloe out in Leilehua High School, gosh, I felt you and almost moved me to tears. And I felt that way about so many of our reflections through the year as we watched the teachers and the students work together. To her teacher, Dina Cabralda, thank you for your good work and your most excellent work. And finally to Casey, thank you for making us laugh, because laughter is food for our soul. And out there in Maui in elementary school, to your teacher, Jennifer Suzuki, who I know is on the call this morning and on today's forum, thank you for your good work. To all of our teachers of HIKI no, and to every person that was involved in this process, especially our team here at PBS Hawaii. You know, when Mental Health America of Hawaii gave us a call and said, hey, how can we partner we knew that it was our responsibility and our role in the community to be that vehicle, to be that link to our community on this very important issue that is very close to my heart. And I'll share my testimony with all of you as well. And I've shared with our staff. I too battle with mental illness. I have dealt with anxiety and panic attacks and disorders all my career, impacting my time at KHON and everything that I've done professionally. Currently writing a book about it that I can't wait to share. But I understand about mental illness and the struggles that go with that. I also, like a lot of the students in our HIKI no students, dealt with depression through this COVID experience and our health crisis. So I understand what it's like to hold it and feel that suppression of emotions. So these programs like today and all the good work that's being shared in our community, we need to be a light for this issue. And this kind of stories, this kind of forums, this kind of student reflections will shed light on this issue and also remind those who are suffering quietly to raise your hand and not be afraid, because you're not alone. So again, on behalf of HIKI no and on behalf of PBS Hawaii, behalf of all of us here at our station and the legacy that Leslie built with HIKI no 10 years ago, to Robert Pennybacker, Brent, the whole gang, Krajal, everybody, and Lori, thank you for your good work with HIKI no and shepherding our students. And finally, to our teachers, not just the 5 that were awarded today, there are heroes all across this state, holding, keeping, pushing forward, but also encouraging. And I want to thank them for making a difference in our community. Again, we are humbled to be a part of this program today. And I just want to send my deepest and sincere mahalo nui to all of you, to Brian, to Nolan for including PBS Hawaii today. Have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, and hug your loved ones. Aloha.
Wow, thank you so much, Ron Mizutani. A heartfelt appreciation for not only what you and PBS Hawaii are doing for our community and our students, but for opening up your heart and sharing your very personal story, Ron. I know that you've inspired a lot here today. A lot of us, we all realize that we're all in this together, and we may not even realize just how connected we really are. So to know that you are willing to share your story and open your heart to us, Ron, cannot thank you enough. Really appreciate it. Congratulations again to the students of HIKI no and to all of the teachers. Thank you for all of your work in our community. And once again, PBS Hawaii, thank you for supporting today.